Sissi De Flaviis is a journalist. She joins us from Caracas. Sissi, you've been with us for hours now, processing not just the initial round of explosions, then this shocking event that the US has captured Maduro. We were talking earlier about how people in Venezuela felt about Maduro. Just another question on that. Certainly, a lot of people that I've been kind of seeing and speaking to from Venezuela and outside of Venezuela, one person said to me a very interesting thing. They said, actually, it might be better the devil that you know. That we knew what Maduro was about, and we knew how to deal with him. What comes next is so unknown that it's very scary. Do you share that thought?
Particularly on a personal level, I don't share it because I think what we know so far is that the Venezuelan people have been suffering for years. We've been forced to exile. We've been jailed, persecuted, killed if we speak against the government. We know that people don't have access to basic health care. So even though it is true to a certain terms that we already know what we're getting, it was not good. It was not safe. It was not basic humanitarian needs being met. So although I do understand the sentiment of like, well, we already know what we get, we already know how to manage with this government, we already know how to like pay for things and whatnot, it is still not good. And I think that mentality is from people who haven't really left Venezuela, so they just kind of lingered in this place of complacement, if I could call it that, and they just kind of stay like, okay, if I don't have power for a few hours or a few days, that's okay. If I don't have water, that's okay. If I cannot access the medicine for my grandma to be okay, then that's fine. That's just the way it is. But they don't understand that their basic needs were not being met. And like, it doesn't have to be that complicated to kickstart your own business if you want, or go to the doctors if you need help. So I think being in the state that Venezuela has been over the last few years, even though sure it is something that people were getting used to it and kind of comfortable with within, for lack of better words, then I understand that it comes in a period of uncertainty. We don't know what's going to happen, but genuinely the state in Venezuela was so bad and so dire that I think it could, I don't know, like, I don't know who would want to stay in that state.
So, Sissi, effectively what you're saying is that anybody else but Maduro, may well be, Machado, who has been talked about as a future leader of Venezuela. There's going to be a power vacuum right now. People are going to be jostling for position. Faces, names that you perhaps haven't even thought of or you are very scared of are going to come to the fore. This is new for Venezuela. You've been under a faux dictatorship for so long that this idea of democracy taking root immediately and that being okay and easy has never really happened in any country that's been in your situation. It's always been bloody. Aren't you worried about that?
100%. And I think everyone's on the same path and sentiment. I think everybody knows that Venezuela won't be fixed in a day, that people will need to now get used to the term democracy, the terms of voting for your rights. It's not going to be a positive change, let's call it, night to day. Even reconstructing and rebuilding Venezuela and changing people's mindsets and everything, it's going to take years, if not decades. Like, we've been on this regime, if we want to call it that, for the last 27 years. So it's a systematic change. It's not going to be overnight. Like, let's say Machado comes in and becomes president tomorrow, hypothetically. It doesn't mean things are going to change right away. It's going to take years for people to change their mindset, for Venezuela to start thriving again, for elections to have like an actual structure in the country. We also don't know what's going to happen with the military bases, who's going to be in power. Everyone's going to be fighting, obviously, for the title. So I don't think it's going to be easy. I think people acknowledge that. But I also think people were tired of the constant turmoil that we were living on. So I think people understand that it's going to have to be tricky for the next little bit. And then there's this hope that at the end of the day, whether that's a year, 2 years, 10 years from now, that Venezuela can be a thriving country.
Thank you. Stay with us. We will come back to you.
Don't miss out. Get the full picture. Subscribe to Al Jazeera for reliable news, expert insight. Like, share, stay ahead.